Hi everyone, and welcome once more to Aurealis Therapeutics Team Interviews, the perfect space to get to know more about who are the people that make the Aurealis Therapeutics team. In today's interview, we're going to be having our Director of Genetic Engineering and Manufacturing, Igor Mierau. Hi, Igor.
Hi.
And I think the best way we can start this interview is by having you sharing more about who you are and really just telling us, how would you describe yourself? Who is Igor Mierau?
All right, so my name is Igor Mierau. What you can maybe already hear from my accent is I come originally from Germany. I was born in Berlin. Ich bin ein Berliner. I have two beautiful sons and they each have two children. So I'm the proud grandfather of four children, 3 boys and 1 girl. And what do I love? I love hiking, being outside, and I'm a huge fan of science fiction. I grew up in East Berlin, and when I was 13, I started to be interested in biology and the microbiology, and my parents, they knew that, and they gave me a microscope, so I started to look at the things you normally don't see. If you take little water samples from a fish pond, you can see all kinds of crawly things. And I've been reading biographies of famous microbiologists. For those who know, Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch. Robert Koch was actually the person who discovered the bacterium that causes tuberculosis. And I was inspired because they developed knowledge and also medicines to help people. So when I went to university, I studied biology, and I specialized in microbiology, and in my graduation project I did microbial genetics. So I've been in microbial genetics for over 30 years. And then I started to work in East Germany, and then I had not finished with my PhD study, and the company where I worked that was collapsing. So I needed to find a different place where I could also finish my PhD, and I received a grant from the European Commission, and with that grant I could move with my family to the Netherlands. Which was in 1991, and then I did my PhD on molecular genetics of lactic acid bacteria. And after that, I worked for almost 20 years as a project manager in a contract research organization. And also in my last job, then I met Juha and Thomas and Harita, and in that company I started to work for Aurealis.
I love that. Okay, so basically that was all your background and you were really passionate about biology since you were a little kid. Now, could you please explain us a little bit more about what does it mean to be a director of genetic engineering and manufacturing? Maybe tell us a little bit more about how is your everyday life? What are your daily tasks? What is it that you actually do?
So I have two types of tasks. So I've worked with many different companies who can do different parts of the work that needs to be done. And those companies are in different countries in Europe, so in Austria, in Poland, in Germany, in France, obviously in the Netherlands. In Amsterdam, there's a company which is called Wacker Biotech. In the past, they were called Synco Biopartners. And so we're working with them, I think almost from the very beginning, so almost 8 years. They helped us to develop our product from the laboratory into a GMP produced drug product. We have produced with them three batches, and one of them we have used for our phase 1 study. And the third batch we are planning to use for our phase 2 study. So that is one part. And the other part is that I'm also responsible as a specialist to design the constructs that eventually are the basis for our product. So then I sit behind the computer and I think about sequences and I design the plasmids that we are going to use, and then I send that information to a company which eventually synthesizes those sequences. So I work as a scientist and as a coordinator or as a director.
And so, like, now that we already talked about what you do, maybe you can share with us, like, how does it feel to work in an international company, like, where you obviously get to come and we get the team together, but where obviously, like, a lot of the work it's done remotely?
Yes. So I love to work from home. That has different advantages. One of them obviously is that I'm very close to, for instance, Wacker, but also to other partners who work in Europe. So like in Austria, in Poland, and in other countries. Also, I love to come to the head office and to discuss. But also when I'm at home, I can concentrate. And
Yeah.
so I love that we have both. And
you get to enjoy your independence,
Yes.
while you also get to join for the
Yes.
together time.
Yes, and I'm flexible in traveling,
Yes.
so it's easy to get to our partners.
And what do you find the most exciting about your work?
I think at the moment, most exciting thing is our preparation for the phase 2 clinical studies. And so we are working very diligently and passionately to get this done so that we can start early next year.
Thank you so much for sharing all this with us, Igor. And with this, we conclude the interview with Igor Mierau, our Director of Genetic Engineering and Manufacturing. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to click on the like button. Remember that we also have other interviews that we've made with Mirka Tikkanen and also with Jerry Kurkipuro. The links are going to be here in case you want to watch, and we will see you in the next interview.